Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2022-23 season. My name is Dan and it's time for the Gameweek 30 tier list video. I can't believe we're actually at Gameweek 30 already. It really feels like we are at the final stretch of the FPL season. Very exciting. And I know Gameweek 29 hasn't finished quite yet, so I'd love to hear from you guys. How well are you doing so far? What are your points totals? And are any of you looking likely to hit that 100-point club this week? But if you do enjoy today's video, please do leave a like. Please do subscribe if you're new around here. But without further ado, guys, let's have a look at the tier list today. Right, guys, so as usual, what we've got is 5 categories for categorizing the 30 most popular transfers in so far that people have already made. So these are the most popular transfers so far. If there's any players not mentioned in this video, feel free to mention them in the comments and we'll try and rank them in there as well. But we're going to go for the 30th most popular transfer in the world for Game Week 30 so far, and that is Mo Salah, who I'm going to put in probably the optional transfer or the good transfer. I'm not quite sure. I guess when everyone is on the screen, we'll maybe try and figure it out. Maybe we'll be generous. We'll put Salah in the good transfer category because I do think he is a good player to own going forward. I think the one thing that puts me off going for Salah right now is this Arsenal fixture. But on the other hand, Salah is a big game player. Arsenal are conceding the odd goal recently, and you feel like if anyone's going to score from Liverpool, it is going to be Salah. And although I know a lot of us have some concerns about Liverpool's defence, what we're not too concerned about is their attack. They seem to be still pretty decent going forward, don't they? So yeah, Salah on penalties with some really nice fixtures, no blank in Game Week 32. And a nice double in 34 as well. I think Salah is going to be a really good pick going forward. I'm just not 100% sure I would be desperate to go for him for Game Week 30 just because that Arsenal fixture, but I actually don't think it's the worst in the world. Look, I don't think Arsenal are amazing defensively, you know, but they're still pretty good. Like, it's not the perfect fixture, but it's still an okay one. So you can afford to wait a little bit longer to get Salah if you want to, but I don't think there's any problem going for him now either. Ødegaard, I think I'm probably going to put in the kind of good transfer to optional. I guess optional. I'm not a massive fan of Arsenal's fixtures in general, and those of you guys who are free hitting in Game Week 32, I really would not be looking at Arsenal players kind of full stop at the moment, but I still see the appeal if you are not free hitting in 32. You are going to want to get some Arsenal players for that Southampton game. The next couple of fixtures are, you know, okay for Arsenal. You know, when you look at Liverpool's defence, you feel like Ødegaard could maybe do something there. West Ham as well after that. So let's see, I guess, but I'm not a massive fan of this transfer, but it's okay. McAllister, I feel like, again, kind of optional, not really the right time for him. If you were going to go for a McAllister, probably should have gone for him last game week. We've got Spurs up next, and then Chelsea, and then a blank. So the next 3 game weeks for Brighton are really quite poor. So in general, I don't think I'll be making moves for Brighton players at all, but they are good players, and they are players who are good enough where they can perform in any game. And I do feel like a problem, and this is going to be kind of a recurring thing in this video, with Arsenal and Brighton, particularly in those midfield or those attacking positions. It's really difficult to say who's going to score the points because there are so many different players from these teams that can get you FPL points. In the more difficult games where you're only expecting 1 or 2 goals per game, it's very, very difficult to predict which player is going to be the one to score it. There's not so much of a talisman, whereas Liverpool, Salah is much more of a talisman than the likes of Ødegaard and McAllister are for Arsenal and Brighton, so maybe that's something that needs to be considered. I'm going to put Marcus Rashford in the great transfer category. Still think he's a really good pick to go for. I know the lack of Casemiro is going to be a bit of a problem for Manchester United. We've already kind of seen that, but Man U do play against Everton next. It is a good fixture. It is a very good fixture. And after that, we're going to get Casemiro back, which is hopefully going to reinvigorate Manchester United. And that game is going to be against Nottingham Forest. So the next 2 game weeks, Rashford is not only a great transfer, but I feel like he is a genuine captain option, particularly in Game Week 31. I feel like we can maybe even consider captaining Rashford, but I've got no problem with going for him against Everton. It's a home game. I think Man United need to kind of turn things around. They really can do something against Everton. It's a good fixture for them. So in general, I like it. Good transfer, I would say. Ben Mee is going to go in a void. No, I'm going to be generous today. I'm going to put him in optional because I actually do kind of like the look of Brentford's fixtures from a defensive point of view. Wouldn't mind going for a Brentford defender right now, which is kind of ironic. I don't think you absolutely have to. The next fixture is again Newcastle, which is kind of harsh. After that, I feel like maybe, you know, the fixtures do look a bit better for Brentford. in general, like, I don't see why people are going for Ben Mee when you can go for Ethan Pinnock or Rico Henry. I mean, Pinnock has just, like, scored 2 goals in the last few weeks, and people still think Ben Mee is the bigger goal threat. I don't know what needs to be done for people to go for the cheap Ethan Pinnock over Ben Mee. Doesn't make any sense to me. You know what? I'm dropping him back into a void. I can't justify Ben Mee right now. I'm sorry. If you want a Brentford defender, go for Pinnock, go for Rico Henry. You just do it. Andreas Pereira, I think he's optional. Like, I think he is an absolutely fine pick. He has a fixture in 32. He is very, very cheap. He's still getting the odd FPL return. Plays against West Ham next, which is kind of a slightly okay fixture, I guess. And, you know, I feel like a lot of people are going to be looking to downgrade certain players, particularly coming off a bench boost in 29. If you're on a bench boost, then maybe you've got a lot of money invested in your midfield right now, and you actually want to downgrade someone. And if you do want to downgrade someone to kind of free up some budget to do some other moves, Andreas at 4.3 million. We know all season that this guy is an absolute bargain, so why not? Another avoid, guys. I'm going to put Leandro Trossard in here. Let's put him in there right away. Don't really like his chances of starting in future game weeks for Arsenal. Yes, he will play occasionally. Yes, he will get some minutes from the bench as well. But I do very much feel like the starting 4, you know, well, starting 3, I guess the 3 forwards for Arsenal are very much going to be Martinelli on the left, Jesus in the middle, Saka on the right. That is Arsenal's main starting 3, particularly against Liverpool. Martinelli has had some really good success against Liverpool in the past, so I feel like, therefore, Trossard is probably going to miss out in Game Week 31, in Game Week 30. In Game Week 31, he probably misses out as well, Game Week 30. Who knows? Like, I don't think he is going to be getting as much game time now that Gabriel Jesus is not only back, but back with a bang, you know. So, yeah, Trossard, I think he's a player to perhaps leave. Raya, I like this one. Good transfer, I would say. I think he's a good pick to go for. Makes plenty of saves, as we've seen in this Game Week 29 so far. He doesn't even need to keep a clean sheet to get those points. So I think he's a good goalkeeper to go for right now. We've got a couple of Manchester City defenders here, which I feel like a few of us will probably be looking to get some Man City defenders pretty soon. So, yeah, I'm going to put in Akanji probably in the optional category. Southampton up next. I think it's Leicester after that. So 2 fixtures where good chance of a clean sheet for Man City. Double game weeks coming up. As long as you are covered for game week 32 with a free hit, or, you know, you've got enough playing players, or you're going to have enough playing players to have a good team for game week 32, I think there's no problem going for a Manchester City defender. They look like a team that is solid defensively, pretty consistently all season, even though they don't always get the clean sheets. You know, they look like they can get a clean sheet in any game. I'm going to put Nathan Ake slightly higher, actually, than Akanji, because I think he's slightly more nailed on. I think Ake has just kind of quietly had an excellent season for Manchester City and has not really got as much credit as perhaps he deserves. And I think he is really a really important player. Whereas Akanji, I think he is slightly more, slightly more rotation risk. There's other players that can come in and take his position, where Ake really does perform a very, very unique and specific role there. Alvarez, this is going to be entirely dependent on the availability of Erling Haaland. It's so hard for me to say right now. At this exact moment, would I be transferring in Alvarez? No. No, definitely not. And I put him all the way down into the avoid category. I really would. Just because, like, if Erling Haaland is available, Alvarez is going to get barely any minutes. Like, whenever Alvarez does play and Haaland is unavailable, then he's a good pick. But, like, Haaland is not going to be out for more than a couple of weeks if he is out. So, it's a really, really short-term punt that maybe could pay off, I guess. It's just a really, really risky one. So, yeah, right now, I feel like I have to put him down here. If it turns out Erling Haaland, we get some news, the Haaland is going to be, out for a couple of weeks, then maybe Alvarez as like a 2-game week punt could be a really, really interesting one, but we don't have that information now, so I can't do it. Isak, I'm going to put him in the optional category. Yeah, looks really good again. Like, he looks good every game he plays, but I'm just so worried about rotation a little bit at the moment, like with Callum Wilson. Like, Callum Wilson came on in yesterday's game, and was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember. But he came on, and he scores pretty much within 10 minutes of coming on, which was quite mad. Isak played very well in that game, but you have to always just be aware that Newcastle right now have 2 great forwards. They have 2 great forwards, and it's going to be very difficult to say which one is going to be playing every game week. Really, really difficult. So, in general, I'm going to have to put him in the optional category. And he's playing it away against Brentford as well. I don't think it's an amazing fixture, so I don't think you have to rush to get Isak if you don't really want him. March, I do prefer to McAllister still, but I think Yeah, again, the fixtures are just not doing it for me. They're just not doing it for me. Spurs and then Chelsea and then a blank. It's not ideal, is it? I feel like if you're going to get these Brighton players, you should have got them last game week. And there's no worry with really holding on to them. But would I be buying them? I don't think so. Kieran Trippier, I would be buying, however. I feel like we've got kind of the return of Kieran Trippier, a reminder of what he can do, you know, with the assist, the clean sheet, and the 3 bonus points. That's what Trippier is all about. And hopefully Newcastle are going to be able to continue now and get some more clean sheet points, which means more bonus points for Trippier. Trippier's going to get more assists. I mean, it's been a while since he's got a goal, but maybe a goal at some point or the other. I feel like Trippier is going to be the guy. And you know, Trippier potentially doubling in game week 36. It looks like he is going to double in game week 36. I know that's a little while away, but we want to have him in there ready. Could even be a captain option for game week 36. Like, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking that far ahead. Trippier for captain, game week 36. Who says no? Who says no? Martinez, the goalkeeper from Aston Villa. We're not really spoken about him too much this season, but I actually think Aston Villa have really turned a corner defensively. They are looking better. They're getting battered against the big teams, but against some of the smaller teams, they're actually doing okay. Nottingham Forest is the next fixture. At home, it's a very nice fixture indeed. So I feel like Martinez, if you're going to go for a goalkeeper, why not? Why not? He makes saves as well, which is always good. Would I put him as high as Raya? Not sure. Maybe not. Maybe not. But, like, they've got to be in kind of a similar level right now. I like Martinez. I mean, I guess for this game week, I guess Martinez, because he's got the better fixture this week. So, yeah. All right. If you guys need a goalkeeper desperately right now, maybe go for Martinez. Let's throw him in there. Why not? Hey, I like this one. Fabian Schär. Look, he's you know, he is Fabian Schär. He always takes loads of shots. Newcastle, good defense. I guess he's optional. Maybe good transfer. I feel like Botman is the cheaper guy to go for, but Fabian Schär does offer a nice upside, you know, because he has got a genuinely really nice attacking threat. He hasn't actually got that goal or assist recently, but you never know when it's going to happen. He's got the underlying numbers to back up that a goal or an assist for Fabian Schär is genuinely incoming. It really is. It's going to happen at some point between now and the end of the season. It's just a matter of patience. So I'm going to put him in the good transfer category. Like the look of this. Martinelli, I think I would rate above some of the other Arsenal midfielders, to be honest, because like I say, he has had so much success against Liverpool and against, you know, up against Trent Alexander-Arnold. I know this is a bit of a, and I know Liverpool fans hate this, but I'm trying to be really objective here. It is a fact that the left-sided forwards seem to be getting the most joy against Liverpool right now. So, yeah, Martinelli is exactly that. He really is. And over the next 3 fixtures, to have Liverpool up against Trent on that side, hopefully getting some joy there. Then a game against West Ham, which is like, you know, it's not the best fixture. It's an away fixture, but it's okay. And then after that, Southampton. If you are not free hitting in game week 32, I genuinely feel like Martinelli could be your friend over the next 3, slightly more so than maybe some of the other Arsenal midfielders potentially there. So, yeah, I'm going to put him in the, I feel I'm going to put him in the good transfer category, because I feel like because of his price as well, the fact that maybe some of you guys are looking for midfielders as well for the next few game weeks. There's not really too much out there right now with those Brighton players having such poor fixtures. Maybe you're looking to go for some other cheap midfielders. Martinelli, you know, value for money, I think you can't really go too wrong. Saka, I'm not going to put quite as high as Martinelli, but I think that's mostly because he's 2 million more expensive. But Saka should be back next game week, but he is playing against the more difficult side of the Liverpool defence, but that's not to say he'll do badly. Like, Saka's been in amazing form, amazing season. So, yeah, I still feel like Saka is still a good transfer, but I think the price difference and the matchup for game week 30 does edge me towards Martinelli. If I had to go for one this game week, it probably would be Martinelli, even though Martinelli is perhaps a slightly more of a rotation risk than Saka. But then again, we all said that last game week, didn't we? But yeah, unfortunately, some things happen, illness, whatever, part of FPL, right? Harry Kane, going to go for great transfer for him. I feel like Brighton, you know, they are a team that can concede goals. We've kind of seen that last game week against Brentford. Well, this game week, whatever you want to call it. We're still in game week 29, right? And then after that, Kane plays against Bournemouth. So I feel like that little run of fixtures, you know, maybe Kane is really going to be able to do some damage in that. Maybe potential captain option as well. If Erling Haaland is not available, if he does turn out to be injured, then we're going to be looking for captains. We're going to be looking elsewhere for captains. And maybe Kane can provide us with that captain option. Let's see, I guess. No blank in game week 32 as well, so he's going to be a good friend of the non-free hitters. Feel like it's okay. It's okay. Luke Shaw against Everton and then Nottingham Forest. Yeah, as soon as Casemiro is back, I feel like Luke Shaw, De Gea, whatever other Man United assets you have, they're gonna be back to their best. They've got plenty of double game weeks to come. As long as you can cover them for game week 32 with a free hit, or benching them, I think that's absolutely fine. I think Luke Shaw is going to be a good pick for the next few game weeks. I really do. Particularly when Casemiro comes back. We've got Luke Shaw, remember, he's on those set pieces as well. So he's going to be naturally creating chances, naturally picking up bonus points. We saw before Newcastle scored against Manchester United that actually Luke Shaw was looking really good on the bonus point system. He looked like he was going to be one of the guys with the bonus points until goals were conceded. So if Manchester United can keep clean sheets, Luke Shaw is going to be on bonus. He could also be getting clean sheets. He could also be getting assists. And we've got some really good fixtures in order for him to do that. So I think Luke Shaw is a great transfer, particularly for those of you guys who are free hitting in Game Week 32. If you're not, then a lot changes, and that is why it's so difficult to make these videos at this stage of the season. Tony, I think, is just kind of, I feel like I could put him in a void, but I feel like he's optional. Buy him at your own peril, really. He is go big or go home, because if he gets one more yellow card, he's going to get 2-game suspension, and you're going to be very, very upset. So if you really want to go for Tony, go for him. Like, when he is playing, he's great, but he's going to get a yellow card at some point between now and the end of the season, and he's going to get a 2-game ban. And that's before we even consider his gambling ban. That could happen too. Let's see. Erling Haaland, if he is available, we need to get him back in. We need to get him back in. I don't think I need to talk about that one too much, to be honest. If he is available, if we get the news he's available, I think I'd be bringing him back in. And it'd probably be Tony, ironically, just talking about Tony, it would probably be Tony who I'd be selling to get Erling Haaland back in, as long as you got the money in the bank. I'd rather do something like that than sacrifice the likes of Harry Kane, for example. Ollie Watkins, still an okay player to go for. I'm going to put him in the good transfer category. Got a game against Nottingham Forest at home. I feel like he could do pretty well there. After that, the fixtures aren't as good for Aston Villa, but they're okay. They're not too bad. So, hey, maybe am I ready to put him in great transfer? I don't know. The thing is, I was looking at my team earlier today, guys, and currently I actually have Watkins as my captain. I don't know if I'll stick with that, and if we get Haaland news that he's available, I'll probably transfer in Haaland and captain him. But, I mean, Watkins at home against Nottingham Forest, the form that he's been in recently, I don't know, man. It's tempting. So does that mean that he's a great transfer? If he's a captain option for the game week, does that make him a great transfer? I feel like maybe it does. I don't like to have a too short-sighted kind of approach to my transfers, generally speaking, but when it's a captain, you do have to give them the extra impetus. So yeah, screw it. He's going in great transfer. I've done it. It's done now. Gabriel, not really a big fan of the Liverpool fixture for a clean sheet for Arsenal, so I'm going to put him in the avoid section, I think. Yeah, just not the fixture. After that, West Ham and then Southampton, maybe we're saying, okay, yeah, better chances of clean sheets during this period. Maybe that's the time to get a Gabriel into your team. But yeah, maybe it's one game week too early to go for the Arsenal defenders, if that's the kind of thing you want to do. Tyrone Mings, cheap. Aston Villa doing well defensively. Nottingham Forest up next. Some okay fixtures, in general for your defenders. Yeah, why not? Why not go for Tyrone Mings? I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. He's so cheap that you can't really go wrong, can you? So, yeah, Tyrone Mings, he's doing well. He's doing well for bonus points as well at the moment, so let's put him in there. De Bruyne, not really too convinced by this one. In general, across the whole season, he's just not been giving us enough, has he? Compared to some of the other premium kind of players, De Bruyne hasn't really been giving us enough. I think after Game Week 32, when we do get the double game weeks for Man City, Game Week 34, Game Week 37, and we are looking at maybe going in on a triple up on Man City, I don't know how many of us are actually going to be doing that, but, we'll be looking to get more than one Man City player maybe. At that point, maybe De Bruyne comes into the conversation, but right now, I feel like I have to put him in the optional category, so that is where he's going to stay. Kaoru Mitoma is going to go alongside his Brighton friends here in the optional category. Still, I know it's mad. He's doing so well for points, but he's overperforming so much. Is it sustainable? I don't know. Is Mitoma genuinely as good as the likes of Salah, Messi, Neymar, all of these class wingers of the world? I don't know if he is. If he is, then he's probably going to continue to overperform, but I just don't know. It just seems like McAllister and March get so many more opportunities than him and just score that 1 point less. He can't keep getting away with this, to quote Breaking Bad. So, yeah, I'm going to still put him below March and McAllister. But, like, in general, like, Spurs and Chelsea, then a blank. Am I rushing to buy Brighton players if I don't already have them? No. If I already have them, am I playing them? Yes, probably. But maybe even not. Like, I'm thinking about benching one of my Brighton midfielders this game week, to be honest. So, like, I don't think you need to get them right now. Like, like after game week 32, we're going to be all about the Brighton players again. Trust me. These three guys are going to be straight up into the must-buy category. But for now, I don't think you have to do it. I think it's an option. I don't think you have to do it. Grealish is an interesting one, I guess. Like, is he optional? I guess. Like, he's been doing well recently-ish. But, like, again, it's nothing amazing. Like, I feel like there are better options to go for right now. The one thing that does appeal to me about Grealish is that he does seem to be, like, pretty much nailed on at the moment, doesn't he? So maybe that is an appeal. And like I say, we are going to be looking to get some Manchester City players in soon. So definitely acknowledge him as an optional player. Let's put him, I'm not confident putting him ahead of the Brighton players. So we're going to put him right there. Ben White is up next. Again, probably not the time, but slightly cheaper than Gabriel. You know, doing pretty well in attack at the moment, White as well, to be fair to him. But yeah, when the next fixture is against Liverpool, away from home, it's just probably not the right time to buy the defender, really. So we'll go again with White and Gabriel in Game Week 31's version of this video, and these guys will be higher up. But right now, I think you can just wait one more game week to go for them. And that leaves us with one more player. The talk of the town, he is back. Arsenal fans are going to be very happy. Gabriel Jesus is back, right, guys? And I feel like we have to put him somewhere. He's not going to be on penalties when Saka is back, so maybe, you know, take that 2 goals with a pinch of salt and maybe kind of call it more of a 1-goal situation. But if you're looking for a forward right now, I mean, I don't hate him. Maybe we put him alongside Saka and Martinelli. Do we put him there? Would I put him higher than Martinelli? I don't know if I would. Or would I? Because Jesus is probably going to be nailed on for the rest of the season. I don't know. Like, I'm not a massive fan of loading up on too many Arsenal players at the moment unless you have no free hit for 32. Oh, it's so difficult to say where to put Jesus right now because he's literally only just come back. But I don't mind the punt. I actually quite like the punt. Just, I'm just... It's just not an amazing fixture at Liverpool, but it's okay for an attacker. It's a frustrating one, and I know for a fact that this tier list that you see in front of you guys, this is the complete article, by the way. This is going to be a controversial one, and I've really struggled this game week. I sat down for like at least an hour with all of my tier list players thinking, where am I actually going to rank all of these players? It is so difficult to place players this game week. And transfers in general, I think, are going to be really tough. And it depends on so many things as well. Are you free hitting in Game Week 32? Is Erling Haaland going to be available? Are you looking for that alternative captain option? It's so hard, and there's going to be so many variables. It makes it very hard for me to kind of advise you guys, I guess. So take everything I say with a pinch of salt. Remember that you have to play your own team, the cards that you've been dealt, and the situation that you've been dealt with. So this tier list is not going to apply to everyone, I guess. But, I mean, that's the best I can do for you this game week. Hopefully, when we narrow things down and go into a bit of more specifics in tomorrow's Buy, Sell, Keep, Avoid video, we might be able to provide something a little bit more concise for you, a little bit more definitive, with a little bit more confidence as well. But for now, that for you is your tier list for Game Week 30. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you did enjoy this one, please do leave a like. Please do subscribe if you're new around here. And don't forget to let me know if there's any other players you want me to talk about. I'll try and reply to some comments as well. Regular content coming this week, despite the fact we're in the middle of a massive double game week. I know, crazy. But yeah, hopefully see you on tomorrow's video. Until then, thank you so much for watching once again. And I will see you later, mates. Bye-bye.